So before you buy yourself a SIM card in Liberia, there are actually 10 things you need to know about buying a SIM card in Liberia. And it doesn't matter if you are in Liberia for tourism purposes, business purposes, or just living in Liberia. Even those living in Liberia will probably learn some, well, secrets? Nah, I won't count them secrets, but still will learn some stuff. So let's just get started with this video. Hi, it's Odu from Phone Travelers here, where we talk about everything related to traveling with your phone, for local SIM cards, SIM card reviews, phone travel tips, international SIM cards, just everything related to traveling with your phone. But for today's video, we will focus on Liberia for those who are planning on getting a SIM card, a new SIM card, let's say if you're switching operators or just a SIM card in general. As I said earlier, there are 10 things you need to know, but worry not, most of the stuff we will go to quickly. And some of the things that I will go to are like the foundation, like the operators in Liberia, which SIM card is the best, and the packages offered by these operators so that you can make an informed decision about buying a SIM card in Liberia. So let's just get started with number one, which is the foundation, which are the operators in Liberia. In Liberia, we have two operators, which are LoneStarCell MTN and Orange Liberia, or just Orange. If you are from other places in Africa or have been to other African nations, then you know that MTN is a very big brand or operator throughout Africa. In this case, they merged with LoneStarCell, I don't know how many years ago, and they became LoneStarCell MTN. So that's why this long name. Number two, where can you actually get any of these SIM cards? Well, you can get them at the official stores of these operators, so you can go to a LoneStarCell MTN store. I would just say LoneStar, that's a bit, easier to say. Or Orange store, and you can get your SIM cards there. Remember that in Liberia, they primarily use the USD, so United States dollars, because of inflation. But for some reason, LoneStar still advertises the price of the SIM card in Liberian dollar, which is LRD. And an MTN SIM card will cost you 100 LRD, which is about 50 USD, I think, something like that. Whereas Orange will sell it for 1 USD without conversion in Orange stores. Number three, SIM card registration regulations. If you have been to other places in Africa, you know that in most cases, except in 2 or 3 African nations, you have to register your passport details when buying a SIM card. The same applies in Liberia, so make sure to bring your passport with you when buying a SIM card, because otherwise they cannot sell you a SIM card. And this always brings up the following question, which is should you use a VPN when in Liberia? And this is mainly because people are worried that the ISP or the telecom operator or the government is tracking every move you're doing because the SIM card is linked to you, your little passport details. And then people are wondering, well, should I protect my internet privacy or security? And the thing is, internet censorship is not prevalent in Liberia. I think there's actually no censorship at all, which is quite nice for an African nation, because some other African nations, not really in West Africa, but in Africa in general, they do censor the censorship a lot, particularly in Northern Africa. But it's nice to know that internet censorship or freedom is, well, guaranteed in Liberia. But back to the original question, should you use a VPN when in Liberia? In most cases, I would say you should always use a VPN. And for those who are not really aware what a VPN is, a VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and what it does, it encrypts your internet traffic when you use it. So in this case, let's say if you go to a website and you are connected to a VPN, the ISP, so the telecom operator, cannot really see what you're doing. They can only see that you are connected to, well, an IP address, which is the IP address of the VPN, and the website that you are searching, in this case Google, doesn't know that you are exactly searching it, unless you're logged in, of course. They only see that the request was been asked from this particular IP, and this IP is from the VPN itself. So that's how you can protect your privacy. There are a lot of other things to do to protect your privacy online, but VPNs is a nice first step, and they are quite affordable too. And the VPN that I would recommend if you are in Liberia is Surfshark, mainly because they have a server in Nigeria, which is named by Liberia. Unfortunately, they don't have service in Liberia itself yet. Because of the server distance is a little bit far away from Liberia, speeds may be slower, or not maybe, they will be a bit slower than without the VPN. But in this case, you're protecting your internet traffic, so it may be a trade-off. And if you go to phonetourist.com/go/Surfshark, you can learn more about the subscriptions. And the best thing with Surfshark is they always have like amazing promos going on, especially for the long-term plans. And yeah, I would really recommend. I've been using Surfshark for less than a year now, because I've been using other VPNs as well, but I've been enjoying Surfshark. And just as a disclaimer, if you use this link to eventually get yourself a Surfshark subscription, I do get a small commission for your person because I'm affiliate for them, and it's at no additional cost for you. It just helps with this channel and the site phonetourist.com. So thank you for that. Alright, number 5. Now that we have the foundations laid, now it's interesting to know which of these SIM cards here in Liberia is the best. Is it LoneStar or Orange? And in general, I would say both options are fine. Coverage wise, which I will go much more in depth a little bit later, they are about equal. Price wise, same as well. So it doesn't really matter that much which one you go with. Of course, if you go to particular very excluded places, yes, one operator might be better than the other, or none of the operators might work at all because, well, no antennas at all. But in general, both operators are good. It's just that the package that they offer are different from each other because, well, they are different operators. So it doesn't really matter if you go with LoneStar or Orange, they will be doing quite well. Number 6, the data prices in Liberia. They are a little bit expensive for African standards. The Alliance of Affordable Internet, also referred to as A4AI. I always have to think about that one, I don't know why. But they do research about the affordability of internet in places in Africa, places in Asia as well, and the Caribbean, I think Latin America too. And every year they come out with a report. In this year's report they found out, or actually 2019, they found out that the average price of 1 gigabyte of data in Africa is 6.45 USD. So that's the average of Africa. The Liberian average, however, is 8.63, which is above the average, but it's not much more expensive. It's still doable. But do know that the world average, you know, when you think the whole world together, is about 4 point something something according to cable.co.uk. But you see that, you know, mobile internet is a bit expensive in Liberia, but it's still doable compared to other places in Africa like Equatorial Guinea and Zimbabwe, which are the most expensive places to buy data in Africa, if we exclude St. Helena because they're even more expensive. But it's doable. But it's good to know about, you know, how much you will pay in general or compared to other countries when you are in Liberia. Okay, number 7, coverage throughout Liberia. Well, earlier I said both operators have about equal coverage, and here we have some maps, coverage maps that are produced by speedtest.com or just speedtest. And you will see that coverage, you know, it's kind of sad. It's mainly in the populated areas. If you go to rural places, well, you might not get anything at all. And then I mean, you know, not even 2G, which is even too slow for modern data browsing. But you'll see that coverage, you know, outside of the populated areas, it's not that great. In fact, it's sad. That's actually how I classified it for this video. So be aware of that. If you have been to other African nations, then you know that this is quite normal. But for those who haven't been or are not used to this, if you are from places where coverage wise, you know, 99% or 100% of the population is covered, then seeing this might scare you. Worry not, if you're just traveling here or going to populated places, you'll be fine. Okay, so we talked about data prices and the coverage wise. This actually begs the question number 8, or well, point number 8 for this video, is if you should actually use an international SIM card in Liberia. Some people, they don't really want to deal with the whole registration stuff. They don't want to switch SIM cards all the time. Well, there's one international SIM card that I would recommend for Liberia, which is Surfroam, which is my go-to international SIM card. I always bring it with me on every trip because that data rates, they start at 1 euro cents per megabyte, which comes to about 10.24 euros per gigabyte. Remember, 1 gigabyte has 1024 megabytes. But let's just say 10 euros just to, you know, make it flow easier. In Liberia, they only charge you 1 cent per megabyte, which is the lower rates they offer. So using a Surfroam SIM card could be beneficial for those who don't want to switch SIM cards when traveling in Liberia or other places in Africa. And if you want to learn more about Surfroam, make sure to go to phonetourist.com/go/Surfroam and yeah, get yourself a Surfroam SIM card. Because sometimes you may go to a new destination and you cannot directly buy a SIM card, and then, well, you have nothing at all. And I use my Surfroam SIM card before I can actually buy a SIM card. Let's say it takes me 2 hours to get to the destination that I actually want to go to. Well, 2 hours of no internet is, well, it's a bit bad that I can't deal with that. So I just, you know, have that Surfroam SIM card with me, and then they will charge me per megabyte. Low rates in most cases, so yeah. That's the international SIM card I would recommend for Liberia. Okay, number 9, the prepaid packages offered in Liberia by the op. So for the videos that I do, I usually limit the number of packages that I show on my screen. So right now I will show you other packages that meet the requirements, which come with at least 1 gigabyte of data or 1000 megabytes. up to 5 gigabytes of data. If you want to see all the packages offered by these operators, make sure to go to phoneservice.com/Liberia-guide. You can see them all. If we would go to them all in this video, you will get bored. Trust me, I've done that in the past and people got bored. So in the overview, you will see the type of bundles they offer, which are like combo plans, which come with minutes, data, SMS, or data only plans, which are just data. Okay, so let's start with LoneStarCell first. We will see that we have two type of bundles that meet these requirements, which are the cool for you ones and the data only ones. For the cool for you ones, they are combo plans. They come with data, minutes, and SMS. They come with on-net and off-net minutes, dedicated allowances. If you're unaware what on-net and off-net stands for, an on-net minute in this case would be calling to another LoneStarCell number, whereas if you would call to an Orange number, that would be considered an off-net call or off-net minute. So that's the difference between those two. You also get some international minutes with no restriction, it seemed, and some on-net SMS. For the data only ones, they are just called data, I think, or you just get data. 2 and 5 USD plans, they come with very specific data allowances. I don't know why, but still, whatever. So that's LoneStar. When we look at Orange, we have two type of plans again, which are all combos in these cases. Again, on-net minutes, off-net minutes as well. Also calls, in this case, your international minutes are not unrestricted. That's only to Canada and US. SMS, off-net SMS, just standard. So these are just the packages that met the requirements that I said earlier. If you want to see them all, make sure to go to phoneservice.com/Liberia-guide and you can read them all. Alright, number 10, which is more for travelers. Should you actually roam when you are in Liberia? Well, in most cases I would recommend getting a local SIM card because, well, that's always the cheapest option, or getting an international SIM card if you're planning on visiting multiple countries in one trip and don't want to switch SIM cards all the time because registration and stuff like that. Roaming internationally is the most convenient way to stay connected because you don't have to change SIM cards, you don't have to register each time and all that type of good stuff. But in most cases, international roaming is super expensive. In fact, I made a video explaining why international roaming is so expensive, which you can see up there. And in the case for Liberia, the neighboring countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Mali, I think it's up there. They offer relatively low roaming rates for Liberia compared to other countries. But in most cases, you're just better off getting a local SIM card when you're in Liberia. I wouldn't really recommend roaming unless a particular operator, comes with low rates. I cannot come up with one on top of my head, but if you go to phoneservice.com/roaming-provider, you will see roaming guides of many operators around the world. Just look if I've written one for your country and then just read the guide and see, well, what are the roaming rates if I would go to Liberia. So that's what I would recommend. So those are 10 things you need to know for buying a SIM card in Liberia. If you thought this video was useful, make sure to click the like button and comment down below which SIM card you're gonna get. Are you going with LoneStar or LoneStarCell MTN? They should make that name much shorter. Just MTN or LoneStarCell, or just LoneStar. I don't know. Or go with Orange. And if you've already been to Liberia or if you're living in Liberia, share your experiences down below and say which SIM card you have. If you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe. Yes, I talk about local SIM cards all the time, but not just SIM cards, sir. No. I also do SIM card reviews, both local and international ones. I also talk about mobile hotspots. I also give you tips on how to save money when traveling with your phone and roaming with your provider, because it doesn't always have to be super expensive. Just everything related to traveling with your phone. If you're planning on going to other places in West Africa or just Africa in general, then this playlist is for you for buying local SIM cards there. And that's it for today. So I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.